James Lynch here for Fight Bananas. Happy to be joined by one of the big winners at UFC 324 this past weekend as he took out Charles Johnson. Of course, I'm talking to Alex Perez here on the program. Alex, how are you?
Good, man. Here at the UFC PI, getting ready to get a workout in and hang out.
Well, thanks for having me part of your pre-workout. I really appreciate it. And congratulations on the win, man. That was quite the performance. Where does that win rank in terms of career highlights? Because, again, I know you're coming off a loss going into the fight. Charles Johnson obviously had that win over Joshua Van. This was a pretty big victory for you. Where does this one rank in terms of career highlights?
I think it's up there just because I guess, like my job was on the line. So, it's the biggest moment. And always the next fight, the next win's always going to be the biggest one. But that was definitely big. And my son was in the audience, too.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's that was up there. He'll be 5 next week. So he was so excited, so pumped. He was screaming. It was just a good feeling. So this is up there for sure. It's probably top 2, top 3. Fighting in Fresno is probably the first one. The title was second, and then this probably up there third.
Yeah, no, good. It's great to see, man. Kind of looking back at that fight, was there anything about Charles that surprised you in the fight?
We trained together in the past a little bit, so I know how tough he is and I know how good he is. He's just a tough dude. I hit him with big shots and I thought he was out, and he just kept coming. Like he was still throwing, he was still trying to come at me. So that's what always surprises me because after everything, I got to some of those shots and he was eating them.
Yeah, no, it was really, really gritty guy. And then, kind of simple question. Could that fight have gone any better? You don't get paid by the hour, obviously.
If I would have been able to flatline him right off the back. But, like I said, I'm just grateful for Charles taking the fight. I did miss weight, so I'm thankful that he took the fight. Nothing else could really gotten better besides that, honestly.
Yeah. Quickly, what did happen with the weight cut going into the fight? Did you just miscalculate it? Like what happened there?
No, I just think it was too quick of a turnaround. I fought in Doha, and then I took a week off, and hey, you want to fight Charles Johnson? I said, yeah, and I think my body was just like, nah, man, you need some break. You need a break, because right now they're out there. I seen, they're booking fights already. I'm trying to get I want to get back in there, but that's my ego talking. My people around me, my management, my nutritionist, my team, my wife, and everybody's like, hey. You need to take a little break, relax. This is why you probably missed weight because in Doha I was the first one there on the scale. Obviously the main event got to weigh in before me, but I was the first one on the scale, so I could make the weight. I think it was just my body was just like, nah, you need to take a break, you need to relax, which is true. Going back to back camps. My son's birthday is next week. I want to just enjoy the family time because going back to back camps, it's tough. It's tough on the body, mentally it's tough, and I think it was just that, honestly. Like, I can make the weight. I've made it plenty. I made it easy. This one, my body just, like, hey, we ain't doing this time. I was in the sauna for about 30, 40 minutes. My wife got in there. She was in there with me, and it took me about 30 to 40 minutes to start, beating, barely sweating. And then I jumped in the hot tub for another 30 minutes, and I lost zero point 0.4. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get these 2.5 pounds off, So it was just one of those things. Sucks. Like I said, it's it's staying on the victory, but like I said, I'm still grateful for Charles taking the fight, and I'm blessed that I still got a job.
Yeah, no, that's the big thing is getting the win there as well. Do you ever see yourself going to bantamweight, or do you think you'll finish your career at 125?
Eventually, but I feel like I can still make a run at 25s. I feel like, obviously up and down, like the guys I've lost to are some of the best guys in the world. Obviously, like Asu, I felt like I was beating Asu until I wasn't, So I still think I can compete with those guys, still make the weight. So I want to make one more title run. And I don't believe any grown man should be 125 pounds any damn time. So I'm hoping, maybe in the next couple of years, go up. But I got unfinished business at 125s.
Yeah, totally agree. Our mutual friend, Big Marcel, has said, question to Alex, why are you such a horrible trash talker? Shots fired.
Come on, Marcel, man. He's the only guy to talk smack to.
Yeah, for sure. When is he gonna? Are you gonna convince him to come over here? We keep telling him he's got to leave, the Netherlands and come over to the U.S. Any headway on that?
He can tell you. I told him, hey, I was like, if I get a bonus, I will fly you out for one of these events. Oh, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know this. I'm like, I told him that I want to meet him so I can just punch him in the face. Honestly.
There we go. Okay, there we go.
Smack to me. But
Yeah.
no, he's a super good dude. I love talking to that guy too. He's always comes out with some jokes, and he's a solid human being. I've been trying to tell him like, hey man, come out here. Like when I was in Qatar, is he coming out? He's like, no, thank you. I'm not gonna stay go there. I'm like, come on, dude. I've been
Yeah.
trying to get him out. I think he's very good for the sport. He's a very good he's very good
Totally
at his
agree.
job that he does and everything. I think one thing is missing is him being out here at some of these events. I think it'll be good. People get to put a face on the person and the personality. But yeah, I think he should definitely come out.
I agree. I agree. Marcel, ball's in your court. You got to come out here. But I'm glad you mentioned that because I talk about this all the time. There's people who do not cover this sport very well. Marcel has been one of those. He's the opposite. He's been a constant professional throughout the years. He does it the right way when it comes to news and everything else. So shout out to Marcel. But back to you. Some big news. Obviously, you got the new contract with the UFC. You mentioned that there. Was that something like? I'm sure after the performance, you probably felt pretty confident you were going to be back with the UFC.
Honestly, you never know, right? You see guys get
Yeah.
cut off of wins, you cut off of losses, inactivity. So like I said, like I'm a business owner myself, so I cannot like if they were to cut me, I didn't do my end, I didn't do my part. If I went out there, made weight, and did that performance, and they cut me, I felt like I could be upset, right? But I didn't make the weight. I didn't do my part in the jobs, and I got to take accountability and responsibility for it. Like if they're like, "Hey, sorry, what I mean? We gotta let you go." I would understand. It would suck. Don't get me wrong. I'd be mad and upset, but the only person I can be mad and upset is myself. So I was still nervous until I got the news. Iridium, Jason House, those guys came in clutch, got me the contract and everything. Mick Maynard and all them. Like I said, like I wouldn't have been upset. Like I wouldn't have been upset at them because I have a good relationship with the UFC. I've talked to Mick, Sean, Hunter, and all these guys. I've talked to them. So I wouldn't be upset at them. The only person I could be upset is myself because I didn't do my part. I hold myself accountable in anything, and this is no different.
Yeah, no, it's awesome to see. And correct me unless my math's wrong here. You've been with the UFC since I think 2017, and I know also I could be wrong about this. I think you were one of Jason House's like first clients with Iridium, or at least you were there in the early days. Like, what does that say about the fact that you've been with the same management? They continue to get these contracts. Like, it seems like you're sort of a good example of someone that's like done what the UFC wants, and if you kind of go out there perform like they want you to, if you're a company man in that way, you can have a long career in the UFC. Is that something you've been able to reflect on? Because there's a lot of fighters that don't even get through their first contract.
Yeah, I've been very blessed and grateful. Like I've known Jason since I was 18 years old. He's managed me since my first amateur fight. I know
That's
his
right.
partner, Jeremy Lucha. Jeremy Lucha,
Yeah.
I've known him since I was 14 years old. I coached his son in wrestling. Now he's coaching my son in wrestling. So these guys are like family to me, and they always have the best interests at heart. Do we disagree sometimes? Do we butt heads? Of course. But
Mm.
at the end of the day, I know they're looking out for the best interests of me, my family. So these guys are great guys. They get the job done. They do everything. Like they're family to me, and just being with that management, just they're amazing. They do everything from top to bottom. Sponsorships, get me media. They help out like during fight week. They take me out to team dinners. They do it for all their clients. They give up for they have a photographer. During fight week to hire them to take pictures of where everybody on the card that's fighting. They have guys going out there following them doing that stuff. So they do an amazing job top to bottom. With the guys in the amateur ranks and the pro level, not at the UFC level, they take care of them very well. Like this is the only management I've been to, and I'm not discrediting anybody because I know there's great managers like Ali, Sucker Punch, all these guys. But for me, like Jason and Iridium and those guys are amazing, top to bottom, the best management. Obviously, I can only speak because I've only been with them, but to me, they're the best management out there.
Yeah. No, well said. Speaking of, UFC contracts and all that stuff, I believe you guys have trained together, but what did you make of the UFC not bringing back Patchy Mix? You only had 2 fights, the last one especially very close. What was your reaction to that? Because we just all found out last night that he's at this press conference for Ryzen, and it's like he got released.
It's crazy, man. Like he's one of the best guys in the world. He had a little bump in the UFC, but we all go through that. Um, that just shows you, the UFC, that they don't, if you don't come out here and perform, they're not willing to resign you. It's don't get me wrong, it's fighting, but it's also entertainment, right? And if you're not doing your part, you can be gone at any time, and that's why they're so successful. They control, they do a very good job of doing controlling the UFC, controlling like everything that they can control, right? they can't control the outcome of fights, but they do a good job of taking care of everything. And it just shows you, man, like the UFC is one of the it's the best of the best, right? Like some of
Yeah.
these guys in here that people have never heard of or come in here and beat a former champ like Patchy is like it's crazy, you know, because um, he's one of the best. I mean, he was on a tear. He went to that Bellator tournament like crazy. Like he fought some tough dudes in that tournament and was making it
Mm,
look easy at some points, you know. So like
mm.
it sucks that he got cut, you know what I mean? But I'm glad that he found a home with Risen, and I'm glad that he's doing his thing.
Yeah. Did you how do you think he'll do at featherweight? That's another move that he made. I know he was cutting a lot of weight. Really curious to see how he looks in a new weight class.
I think he'll do good. You know, like I've come from one big guy to another. You know, he cuts a
Yeah.
lot of weight and stuff. So a lot of the camp is focused on that. And you know, I've seen him in here trying to make the weight. You know, and he makes it. But I think at 45, he's gonna be a little bit happier. He's gonna have a little bit more fun training. You know, when camp's not all about like just making weight. It's about having fun and training. You know, it changes a lot. So I'm excited to see him at featherweight.
Marcel says, "What is your favorite win of all time, and what fight would you want to do over if you got the opportunity?"
Man, I want to do every fight that I've lost from back in the day to now. The fight I would do the most probably the Davison fight or the Pantoja fight. Those two. My favorite win, uh, man, probably the Fresno one. You know, because that was at home, and then this one's up there too. Just because my son was in the audience, and you know, my son's so proud. He's been asking everybody like, who won their fight on Saturday? He's like, my dad did. You know, like he's so happy, he's so proud. He's like, Dad, I watched you. My one of my friends was babysitting him last night, and he watched the fight again. He's like, Dad, I see you fight again. You're punching. You know, like so. I say those two fights are my favorite fights, just because I said my son was there. Son was there, and he's yeah, it's so crazy to see it. You know.
Yeah, no, good for you, man. That's awesome. And I got two boys, so I can relate to that. I obviously have never beat anyone in a fight, but you get those moments with your kids, which are awesome. I get arrested, Alex, so that it's a little bit of a different situation if I was to fight someone. Wanted to ask you about a couple fights that are coming up, and then I got a couple fun questions, and I'll get you out of here because I know you got that workout to go to. What do you make of this Sean Strickland and Anthony Hernandez fight that's coming up on the Houston card? Pretty interesting fight at middleweight. Who do you think has the edge in that one? Who do you think gets it done?
Man, I think that's a toss-up. Honestly, I think whoever gets tired first, because Sean, even though he don't grapple much, he's a very good grappler. You know, he's an underrated grappler. Fluffy, like he's not the best striker, but he goes out there, strikes to take you down. He's gonna shoot 100. He's like Marab. He's gonna take you down 100 times. He's not worried about holding you down. He's gonna punch you. So I think on that one it's a coin toss, but I think it comes down to whoever gets tired. You know,
Okay.
because it's gonna be a war. I think it's gonna be a fun fight.
Who do you give the edge to, though? Like, who do you think would get tired between those two? Because it's tough. You're right. Two of the best gas tanks in that weight class.
Ah, man. That one's hard. That's hard to say because
Okay.
taking someone down like Fluffy does over and over again, that's tiring, and he doesn't get tired. Sean, he hardly gets taken down, but I mean, I've seen Sean train, and I know he grapples a lot more than what people think, and I've seen him go with some of the big dudes, some of the best guys, and he's out there, nonstop, and he's going hour and a half straight. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Like I don't know on that one.
Okay. What about Max and Charles for the BMF title? It's a rematch, actually. They fought at featherweight years ago. Charles got that injury early in the fight. Now they rematch at lightweight. Who do you see having the edge in that one?
I think Max. I think Charles is gonna be Charles. Very good submission game, but it's not a wrestler. He's not gonna be able to take him down and do that. You know, and Max ain't gonna take him down. I think Max is more of a volume striker, puncher. I think Charles has more weapons, but Charles does get touched a lot, and he I think in every fight since I can remember he's been dropped, you know. Uh, so besides the last one, but usually like every fight he gets touched and he gets dropped, whether it's early in the fight or late in the fight. But I give Max the edge.
Okay. And last one, Israel Adesanya and Joe Pyfer headlining that Seattle card. Who do you see winning that fight at middleweight?
That one's tough because Piper is a stud. Um, man, and Izzy's been out for a while. Ooh. And that one's tough. I gotta say, I give it to Piper. I think he's gonna go out there and try to take him down. You know, Piper's grappling is actually very, very good. You know, I think if he can get past those leg kicks that Izzy's gonna throw, because I think Jack Hermanson leg kicked him a few times and you can tell it hurt him. I think if you can get past that, I think he should be fine. I think he's gonna take him down, and just try to beat him up on the ground.
Okay, we're gonna end things here. Well, just a couple more questions, but I got some fun like rapid fire questions, just like 1 or 2 word answers, whatever comes to mind. There's no wrong answers here; it's just an opinion here, and these don't have anything to do with fighting, so that's a good
All
thing.
right.
Alex Perez, what is your go-to healthy meal?
Healthy meal, man, a salad.
Salad.
Regular
Okay.
salad.
What career would you be doing if you weren't fighting?
I'll probably be a cop, or yeah, probably a cop.
What's your favorite video game?
Madden.
Favorite song?
Ooh. Uh, Juicy by Biggie, my walkout song.
Love it. What's your favorite fast food restaurant?
All of them. All of them. I can't. I can't pick.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Beach or lake?
Lake.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
There we go. One of these days I'll get a cat answer. When do you want to get back in there? Again, you look like you came out relatively unscathed. I know it is a process to make it to 125, but like, is there any cards coming up that you're like, I want to be a part of that?
No, like I said, my team, my wife, my nutritionist, my coaches, like, you need a break,
Yeah.
You need a break. They're probably going to be upset that I'm here working out right now. But they're like, you need a break. So I'm looking to fight, June, the end of June, July, kind of that time. Gives me enough time, gives me time to heal up, gives me time to, enjoy time with my son. Because at the end of the day, like, fighting is great, making this money is great. But, yeah, I mean, you have kids. These little moments that you miss with your kids, like,
you can't get them back. Yeah.
You can't get them back, man. I've missed a lot these last couple of months, obviously, because I've been in camp, going camp to camp. So I want to spend some time with him. He's going to be 5 years old, taking to wrestling tournaments. He loves T-ball. He loves wrestling. So I want to enjoy some time with him and enjoy some time with my wife. She goes through it too when I'm in camp. She gets a grumpy Alex. So I got to take her out. Enjoys just some family time, some quality time. So I'm looking at the end of June, maybe July.
Cool. Your son's turning 5 this year, you said?
He turns 5 February 3rd. So we're doing his birthday.
Oh, cool. That's right. You just mentioned the birthday's coming up. Yeah. My youngest is turning 5 in September, so same age group. It's the best.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, they're crazy. They're crazy at this age. They learn everything. They're sponges. You can't say nothing because I've said a couple curse words and he's like, huh? And he says them, I'm like, oh, no, don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Parenting 101 right there. And would the White House card be too soon? I know some fighters want to compete on that. That's like, I think early June, like second week of June 14th. Is that something you want to be a part of, or you're like, it doesn't matter to you?
It doesn't matter. I mean, don't get me wrong. It'd be one hell of an experience if I had the White House card, right? Like, oh, man. But if they don't put me on there, I'm not really worried about it, I like fighting in Vegas at home. I love traveling too. It's always cool. So wherever they put me on, I'm just grateful to be, fighting for the UFC and doing these things, exploring the world, and get my name out there.
Any opponents of mine, or you just wait and see what the landscape looks like when you're ready to come back?
I'm looking. I like I know Amir and Harguchi are fighting.
Yeah.
I would like to fight one of them. Obviously I want to get the rematch back with Asu. I know he's coming up. But pretty much anybody. I want to fight up in the rankings. I usually take fights wherever. Like I've fought Charles underneath me. I fought Tarsuro when he was underneath me. I would like to rematch with Tarsuro. I felt like I was doing well until my knee. So there's matchups there. I would like to move up. I do want to make a title run. So I just want to kind of go from there. But I'm not picky. Whoever they ask, I'm usually gonna say yeah.
Did you and Amir ever train when he was in Vegas, or no?
No. I mean, we run into each other, but we never trained. I've never trained with them. I know he trained with Dewey Cooper and stuff like that. But yeah, I've never really trained with them.
Okay. Marcel says, any place you don't want to fight. Look at this, trying to get a clickbait answer at you or something.
No, I'm just like I said, I just like fighting and getting paid for it, so it don't matter. And get to travel the world for free. So to me, it doesn't really matter. I prefer to stay in Vegas because it's home. But I'm not real picky.
Okay, there we go. Alex, thanks so much for doing this. We went way over time. I'll let you get to that workout. Anyone you want to thank before we get out of here? Sponsors, social media, anything like that? I'll give you the last word.
No, just want to thank you for having me. I always appreciate it. I want to thank my team, my family, my wife, my son, everybody that helped me on this camp. This was one of the hardest camps of my life. And yeah, I want to thank my sponsors. Always have my back. Presidential, those guys always have my back. Pure Green, their juice company, they take care of me during camps. I just want to thank just everybody from the bottom of my heart, because like I said, this was one of the hardest camps of my life, and I went through a lot of stuff personally and mentally and stuff like that. And I'm glad to be on the other side now. So thank you guys.
There we go. All right.